Many parents have issues and concerns about their child's education because their child may be falling behind in reading and math. And reading and math, as you know, are core foundational life skills. And many children are just not getting what they need. And as a result, they are losing their interest in learning. School systems are overwhelmed. Reduction in funding has resulted in larger class sizes, plus many teachers now have to teach these larger classes by themselves without teaching assistants. Parents are overwhelmed too. With today's fast-paced world, finding quality time for family is challenging at best. The results? Many children are falling behind in school. And once a child falls behind in reading and math, new issues are created, resulting in their falling even further behind. Issues like lack of self-esteem, lack of motivation, being bullied, or even becoming a bully. Sound familiar? At Kid Angel, we know you want to do everything you can to help your child from falling behind in school. And if your child has fallen behind, to help them get back up to grade level. And that's what we're going to do. Help you help your child. We talked with several parents and their children who are experiencing the same educational issues your child may be experiencing too. We wanted to find out firsthand about their concerns and how they solve them. We'll explore these common issues, the ones your child is most likely experiencing, and offer ideas and solutions you can use to help your child overcome them. We'll also present some educational issues your child may not be experiencing. It's important to give your attention to these issues too, because your child may be experiencing them at some later point. And even if you think your child may not be experiencing any of these issues right now, it's possible that by watching this presentation, you may discover your child is experiencing some educational issues you both may not be aware of. Here are the key topics we'll present and discuss. When is the best time for your child to start school? Know your rights with the school system. How class size affects learning. Bullying and how it affects your child's learning. How a child's confidence affects their learning. Is your child ready for the next grade level? Is your child shy, quiet, or reserved? Let's start with, when is the best time for your child to start school?
When it came time to place the boys into kindergarten, I just went down in there and signed them up. And even though they had voiced that they weren't ready, I just did it because that's what everybody does. And I didn't know that I had different options to leave them at home or whether they'd be ready if I did leave them at home. And even though they weren't happy because they didn't feel that they could be alone, I just did it anyways. I just put them in because I didn't know what I could do.
The age your child starts school has a huge impact on their ability to understand and grasp information. Some children are ready for school when they are 5, some older than 5. As a parent, you have the right to request a meeting with your child's school principal and teacher to determine when is the right time for your child to start school. Together, you'll determine the right time based on what you know about your child's abilities and what the principal and teacher assess about your child. Before this meeting, it would be helpful for you to think about your child's intellectual, emotional, and social readiness for school. Here are some key questions to ask yourself about your child before your meeting. Is my child mature enough emotionally to be away from his mother and father? How well does my child interact with other children the same age? Is my child's attention span long enough for a classroom setting? In addition to these questions, here are some important guidelines to help you with your meeting. Ask that the teacher your child will have in kindergarten be at the meeting. Ask to see a typical daily kindergarten lesson. Ask to see the kindergarten room your child will be placed in. Remember, you always have the right to request meetings with your school principal and teacher to help you determine when is the right time for your child to start school. But what if your child is currently in school and is falling behind in reading or math? Maybe because they started school too early or too late, or because they just need extra help.
I wasn't succeeding like the other kids in my class, so we found Kid Angel, and they just started helping me.
Kid Angel brought him out of himself. He was very, very shy. He wouldn't even look at people. And after Kid Angel, it motivated him to have confidence and to speak and ask. He would actually ask the teacher for help now. Before, he was terrified of the teacher.
Kid Angel has the perfect after-school tutoring program to help your child get up to grade level with reading and math. Once your child is at grade level, there may even be some unexpected results.
I had more confidence now than I did before.
And now because the teachers at Kid Angel had motivated him and gave him confidence, he would look to his teacher at school and want the same thing. He wanted to interact with her.
It makes me feel great because I can express myself that I didn't get to do when I was in first grade. I'm doing pretty well now.
When your child's self-confidence improves, most everything else improves too.
Well, my concerns are that the class sizes have grown to a point that are so large, there's not enough one-on-one time for any of the students.
The number of students per class seems to grow each year, making teaching and learning in a larger classroom very difficult for both the teacher and students.
They're starving for an education, they need the help, and they're not able to really get it. Even when you ask, they're spread so thin that they can't really spend enough time to get your kid what he really needs when he misses parts of the lessons.
With less funding and more students in a classroom, along with less help for the teacher, there is now less one-to-one student attention. And although it's obvious how classroom size affects a child's learning, it's not so obvious how classroom size also affects classroom dynamics. For example, how children relate to each other inside and outside of the classroom.
One of the things I believe that happen in the classroom because of the sizes, a lot of this bullying stuff happens under the radar. There's so many kids, so much activity, teachers are not really seeing what happens, but it certainly affects the kids that are getting bullied.
It just feels like I'm being bullied, even if I'm doing the right thing. And if I try to do the right thing, they try to put me to do something else. You feel like you're brainwashed. Once it happened, you can't go back.
Larger class sizes affects teacher attention, which affects class dynamics, resulting in, among other things, behavioral issues like bullying, which can then affect a bullied child not feeling safe in and out of their own classroom, affecting their ability to focus on schoolwork and even wanting to go to school. And this also can affect their self-confidence, which can affect their ability to learn.
Jake has a unique learning style. He needs more one-on-one. We've addressed the individual education programs that the school has, but they don't believe he needs it, I think.
There are other issues for children as a result of larger class sizes. More students in a classroom makes it difficult, if not impossible, for a teacher to provide individualized attention to the students who really need it the most.